Okay, so we're going to review how to do inequalities. So if has a line under it, so if there's a line under the inequality, then you know that it's going to be a solid line. Okay, so there's a line under it, then you know that it's going to be solid, and that's where you get this. If there's no line, then you know that it's going to be a nice dotted line. So then the next thing, if it's less than, that means that it's going to point. So if anything is pointing to the left, then you know that it is going to be below. If it is pointing to the right, then this means less. This is less. Whoops, this didn't have an. So if it's less, it's below. And then these are greater than or equal to, greater than. So that's greater than. And greater, which is meaning more. So that means that it's going to be above. So that's kind of like your helpful hint. So now the next thing, so in this one, in order to graph these, you have to know your y-intercept, and then you have to know your slope. And this is what we did in that first little unit, that first section. So the actual y-intercept here is the one without the x, so that's 2. And then my slope here is going to be that fraction 2 over 3. And that means I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 3. Up 2 and to the right 3. So what happens is we're going to start on my y-axis at 2. And then to get your next point, you're going to go up 2 and then to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 2 and to the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 2 and to the right. 1, 2, 3. So you go through and you do this, and then you graph it. This is how you graph kind of like and then this part, there's no line under it, so I know that I'm going to have a dotted line. So it's going to be dotted. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm just going to make a dotted line. And I know I have a dotted line. Now the next thing is, it's less than because it's pointing to the left, so that means that I have to go below. So I'm going to shade below. So I'm going to take a highlighter or something, and I'm going to shade all of that below my line. So you're going to do the same thing. Now here's the problem that's a little tricky, is if you're going to have to do this algebraically, you have to solve this. You guys have a friend, and it's called Desmos.com, and you can just put that in. But I'm going to show you the math anyway because I kind of have to. You're going to subtract 2x. You're going to subtract 2x. That goes away. Then you have negative 3y is greater than or equal to 12 minus 2x. So that next piece of the puzzle says, okay, well now I've got to undo multiplication. So I'm going to divide by negative 3. And I'm going to divide by negative 3. Oh, there's a rule that when you divide by a negative number, divide or multiply both sides of the inequality by a negative number, so when you go through and you divide, this is like a huge rule. So when you're going to go through and you're going to divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, then that inequality sign flips. So instead of being greater than or equal to, it's going to be less than or equal to, because I have to flip that inequality. Instead of being greater than or equal to, you have to flip that inequality. So now we've got 3 divided by 3, negative 3 divided by 3 is y. So now we've got y. So now we have 12 divided by negative 3. So 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4.